Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with a couple of Tuscola's finest, and the Tuscola shirt is Bill Englehart, and next to him is my longtime friend and close friend and mentor and idol. And
Jeez.
Don't stop now.
uh, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Yeah, there was a book. Adlai Stevenson used to run for president back in the 50s. He didn't like Reader's Digest, and he called it Reader's Digress. And one of the chapters was the most unforgettable person I ever knew. Oh, what's his face?
What's his face?
I
Hey,
always liked Reader's Digest.
I know. Well, you would. I like Reader's Digest too.
Good.
Their jokes were kind of bad.
I would always
Humor and
put jokes first.
Puns, puns.
Saturday
Always,
Evening Post has good jokes.
I used to get Reader's Digest, and I'd go through and read all the jokes first.
That's why I take the New Yorker magazine. It's got the best jokes in the world. And
Anything
book
going
reviews.
on? We should say your name, Mike. Is it Mike Carroll?
Well, what is it, Bill? I've forgotten.
Well,
The great one, isn't it?
it's a great one.
Great one. Jackie Gleason.
Oh,
Yeah. Good to be alive.
I
Good to
got
be
a
here.
haircut.
I saw that.
I
Who
I
does
went,
that now that Fred's gone?
huh?
Who
I
does
went
that now?
down to the new barber at Jarman's at the
Oh, yes,
Jarman
yeah,
Plaza.
Jason Burris.
yeah. Bill Grove boy.
Yeah,
So did you
nice,
have a good,
nice
you enjoy it?
place. Huh?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, Bill and I have to go down there and watch haircuts.
That'd be a good place just to go sit.
Yeah.
You know what? It
Saturday,
is a good place to go
Saturday
sit.
mornings.
I told him, I said, you got so much stuff in here. A person could come in here and spend all day and not even get a haircut.
Yeah. Well, he's got pop. We can go get a bottle of pop.
Hey, did you use a shave
He did.
razor on your neck?
He
and all
did.
that.
He got the razor. I said, that's my favorite part of the haircut is the neck shave. And he said his favorite part is when he gets paid for it.
There you go. Well, he's a smart man.
Well,
Yeah, he had. I noticed there was a case of ski in the back.
ooh,
The
you've got Bill going there right now.
but I got my own ski.
Does he have that lavender water he can slap on you after you've been coiffured there?
I don't know what he slapped on me, but
He slapped something on you.
he did
Smell
something back.
good.
Did something back there.
Well,
And
Bill and I, back in the golden 50s, when we went to Kenny Huber, the very end, he'd put Butch Rose on there.
Yeah.
And he had a round, hard plastic comb he'd run through your flat top, and you'd swear he tore skin off with it. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, they were hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was like a knife,
This thing had about that big around, had these little knobs on it.
sharp.
Bam.
But
Well,
you comb your flat top with it.
Yeah.
he's got a big screen TV in there, and it's huge. I don't know what size it is, but I don't have a wall big enough for TV like that. Then he's got video games, and he's got a collection of fireman helmets and license plates and different decor. And
And does he have a collection of ears on the wall
no,
that he sliced
he
off?
didn't, he didn't clip my ears. He did take care of the hair in my ears though, so that's good.
Yeah.
He seriously?
Trimmed my eyebrows.
Well, I get
Yeah, it's
that.
full
I get
service.
Amy does that. My hair hadn't grown an inch, but I go in there for my ears and my eyebrows and my nose. She doesn't
Mhm.
get my nose.
Really?
Yeah. And the next day, there's a new bush in there. Just boom, boom.
Oh, those like that, I imagine there's big money in shaving that thing.
Yeah, there is.
My,
Wish my hair would grow a little bit.
my barber's going to have a baby.
No, mine's not.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I mean, we can say that nowadays, can't we?
I don't, who knows?
I'd been going to Champaign, and I thought, well, I'd like to glad to have a barber in town again, and need to support him.
Well, he worked for one of the best barber shops in Champaign. for 18 years. I read in the paper.
Well,
Andy's barber shop.
Well, wish him well.
Yeah, I do too.
there's only
Wish him
so
well.
much you can do with a face like this, but
Yeah, but you still got hair is the point.
thought he did all right.
You always have that flip curl in the front. It's
Well,
always been
sometimes it comes and goes. Uh, Jenny likes a little flip in the front.
Oh, I think I was going to say Jenny probably.
yeah. A little bit
Yeah,
of Fabian there.
Mhm.
Fabian
she'll
Forte.
she'll make your hair curl, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I bet you would.
All right, we ready for
Okay.
picture?
Yeah. I'm gonna dim it here a little bit so we can see that.
All right.
Oh boy. I bet you get a close up, we'll know who some of these people are.
Well, let me see.
In fact, I think
I got them all.
well, it might take a while. Looks like Francis Cole right there.
Well,
Who knows?
In the middle there,
Yeah,
hard to tell.
it does look like her.
A little, yeah.
Slide right there a little bit.
This is a pretty old picture.
59.
It's in the 50s.
Yeah,
Wow.
got that fancy trash barrel there in the front.
Yeah, we had Tuscola had some of the finest trash barrels.
And a
You'll
sawhorse.
notice there's no parking meters. They had parking meters during the 50s, and then merchants bitched that nobody's coming downtown because it costs to park, so they got rid of them. And then people would park all day long there, and then they bitched that they need to put a parking meter in because all day.
If these people are eating watermelon.
Well, there is a parking meter there. I see one.
They're eating watermelon?
Yeah, they're eating watermelon. There's a gal back there. That's at Nick's Candy Shop.
Does look like watermelon, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Got JR North Furniture, Nick's Candy.
Yeah.
Zero in on that truck on the left. Let's see what that says. Appliance, that connoisseur? Appliances?
Appliances, something.
Something appliances.
I don't know, maybe that's where the truckload of watermelon is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that looks like a nice late bit. That looks like a 59 kind of era.
that's a good old Saturday afternoon at Tuscola.
Oh, there's Tom Powell. Isn't that Tom Powell?
I don't think so.
Second left.
I mean, it
Hooker
looks like him, but I got to remind me to tell you about Steve Hooker.
Okay. But does that look like Tom Powell?
That's Mrs. Anderson there, isn't it? Mrs. Anderson.
Well, that's what Jennifer Bender thought. Mrs. Anderson, kindergarten teacher at North Ward, far right.
Yeah, Ted Anderson's wife. They remember he had that little place up there in the
How about second left?
Woolworth.
Second left, Tom Powell.
I don't know. I figure you guys would know.
Hooker and Powell.
What is this? Is this
That looks like a rotary bell.
looks like rotary.
Yeah, the rotary bell. Okay. That's Ray Carlson, second from right. There's Mr. Anderson in the middle, Bob Hastings, Keith Tingley. Who's on the far right?
I don't know, but you got them all. That's a young Bob Hastings.
That's a young Bob Hastings. That looks like
It is.
50.
That's Mr. Anderson.
Don't know the one on the right. There's Keither.
Yeah, Keith's swearing in the ladies. Mrs. Anderson. Second one from the right is Betty Carlson.
Not second one from the right. The one in the middle.
Well, we can't see. You got to slide over.
Oh, I see. Third one.
Yeah.
I don't know why your screen doesn't show.
Well,
we got
our photos
our photos are on
in the corner.
Yeah.
I see.
You're in the corner.
Well, I moved them on my end down here to on the left, but apparently.
Well, then we'd have to slide it right.
If we try to do something, we're liable to be disconnected.
Yeah, you don't want right about there is right.
Okay.
I wonder who that young lady is.
I don't know. On the right, I don't know. Heath looks good.
That's a long time ago.
Yep. I'm saying late 50s, 59 maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it one more time until someone agrees.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'll quit saying
That
it.
sounds about right to me.
Okay,
Oh, man.
those are,
Meadowview
let's
homes,
see,
aren't they?
well, you think it's Meadowview?
Well, I thought it was Meadowview at first, but I noticed they've got
It
crawl
looks like,
spaces, and I
that
thought
looks
most
like,
Meadowview homes were built on slabs.
well, that could be the start of Parkview.
Well, could be, but they look a little small for Parkview houses. I thought
Well,
wonder
it kind of
maybe
looks
this
like the same houses to me.
was
Well, they're tract houses a little bit. There's two tract
Hillcrest
houses.
or Southland Acres or
Well, it could be, but look at the look at the what I'm looking at is that's the back of the houses. One of them's the back. Well, if they're the front, it's strange. But is that a street out in front and then driveways? Is this a street out in front? That's the front of the house.
front of the house.
Well, then we're looking backwards into.
could be Parkview. But a lot of houses in Hillcrest were not built with garages. Most of them have garages now, but they weren't
Yeah,
built with garages.
a lot of lean-tos.
A lot of carports and
Yeah,
uh,
carports.
so I wonder if this could be Hillcrest before garages were added. Who knows?
Well, Southland Acres came in the mid 50s. Oh, there's George Flesser. Go,
Nick Flesser.
Nick Flesser. Excuse me.
Bill Roach in the background.
Bill Roach in the background with his Abe Lincoln hat.
Looks like a good time. They got Hawaiian leis around their necks, but it looks like maybe
Sure.
I don't know what this is, St. Patrick's Day or something.
Slide that a little bit right again.
I'm sure if George was there, it was a good time.
Yeah. George had a real dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
They tell it. Let me just go back to George real quick. Bob Hastings told a story about how he set a tape machine outside George's house, an airplane and a train, all kinds of things. At 3 in the morning, he turned up full volume like a train was coming through the house or an airplane. Bob's over there laughing in his car. George ran in the backyard with a shotgun and shot it. Blew it up.
What's the room here? Do you know?
Well, is that above Nick's store?
Possibly in the old masonry thing. Or
Looks like some Mason type chairs there in the background for.
But weren't the Masons up above Nick's store
at one time.
at one time?
The Oddfellows were.
Oddfellows
And
there
there
now.
still are.
Yeah, but I
But it
mean,
was Oddfellows before, I think.
I looked into buying that building way back in the 70s, and I went upstairs, and it was a warren, a rat's warren of little rooms here and there and hallways. It was all for initiation rites, and
Yeah.
I think Nick was okay. This is
We're going to have a little more size.
there's Bev Hastings in the middle.
See Bev.
Start here on the.
Bev's fourth one from the left. That's where the red hair comes from. Slide over a little bit, a little more. Well, that's Jane Kellogg.
I was going to say it's Jane Kellogg.
Jane Kellogg, Jane Miller. Married Eddie Miller, colonel in the National Guard. Held a school scoring record back in the 50s. Remember that?
Good ball player.
Good basketball player.
Okay. That's the best we can do there.
I didn't recognize Bev.
I remember her when she was very young.
Okay.
You were our neighbor.
Well, that's just a different angle. There's Bev again. Trying to think who's down here to the right.
This picture is just old enough to be out of touch
For us.
for us. Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know any such pictures existed.
Well, anything around the turn of the century, 1901, 1904. There we go.
Oh, man.
Looks like maybe somebody had a birthday. I'm going to guess this is probably December by the flower that's on the TV tray.
Poinsettia. I wonder if that's not an anniversary, maybe.
Could be.
I'll let you two guess that one. There's
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson again,
Thanks.
and that's Warren Smith. We're missing Warren Smith on the right.
Yeah.
That's John Smith's brother.
That's the Andersons and
Yeah,
John Smith.
good old Warren.
Or Warren.
Warren played football in 1940, 41 with Bill Huber, Judd McGuire, my uncle.
He was my neighbor growing up.
Great guy. They said he was kind of slow. You had to drive a stake by him, see if he was moving. That looks like that old steam demonstration out at the park when they had old-fashioned days. Is that Johnny? Well, is that Johnny Hubert on the
Possibly.
horse? And to the right is Geraldine Wellborn?
Can't tell.
Just guessing.
I don't have any names on that one.
Okay. Now that looks like what's his name down the courthouse? Used to be the guard out there. Lived next to across from Phil Burris. What was the guy's name?
Farmall Tractor.
That wasn't his name.
Well, you go.
Looked like he won a prize.
Yeah, I'll think of his name. He was Bill Burris's class back in '53, and he was a guard at the courthouse when I was a judge. Nice guy that passed away. Went down to Sullivan to see him. I can name all of these.
Man.
Now blow it up a little bit, right? You grab them because it's just too easy for me.
On the left.
Yeah.
Mary Ann Holsty. Jane Rothgab. Help me.
Carolyn Wellborn.
Linda.
Bert Keish.
That's Bert.
That's Bert.
Then Donna.
Donna Baird.
Baird.
Jan Sarneski.
Jan Sarneski. God, Jan looks good there.
She does. Well, look next to her.
Man.
Kitty
Kish. Erica Steiner. Holy smokes.
Holy cow.
Okay, you'll have to turn it off. I'm going to get my heart back.
Put that in the time capsule.
Yeah.
I put this picture in just so to start fights between you guys and your spouses.
We're not even fighting. There's no contest.
My wife does not worry about me anymore for good reason.
By the way, Kitty Kish's feet look good, don't they?
Did you see her wrist?
It looks like the same.
Yeah, I'm going to get the old '53 album out and get his name.
Is that the same guy? Different glasses. Let's see. That one's
That's not the same guy, no.
That's a Farmall
tractor.
Not the same tractor. Same brand. Different tractor. So
I can't tell who it is.
Let me jump ahead here on my.
I think it's out at the park.
Give me 1 second. Well, you guys go ahead and look at him. I'm going to grab stuff. That guy's name is driving me nuts.
He'll find it. Why does he have that dual exhaust on there? On that tractor? That's unusual, David.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about such things.
Well, I mean, I wonder if they were pulling or something. They might have been. He's got whites on the front. Old Farmall.
Yeah,
Some of our farmer friends could tell us about that.
Just 1 second.
So Mike went and got a yearbook of some sort to
1953. The guy on the tractor is bothering him.
We got Mike's ear there on the. We'll blow it up so
On my ear.
It looks good.
on your ear.
Well, I got 53 out. Having trouble finding him.
Look under athletics. Maybe he was a ball player.
But I'll tell you what, that class of 53, Dave,
There's Burris.
I'll think of his name. That class of 53 had Jimmy Chaplin, who coached me in Little League. You know Jim. Jerry Baird, Steve Bass, Bill Dietrich, Eddie Edmiston. Oh boy.
For those who wonder if this program is scripted and rehearsed, now you know that it's not.
Buckshot O'Brien, Chad Marsh.
Well, you got him off center now.
Dean Moss.
We'll try to get back.
Bill Riley. Look at these guys, all Tuscola guys.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Glenn Weaver just passed away. There's Jimmy Wood. Wow.
Yeah, that's a neat yearbook.
The girls changed their names, so they're tough to remember who they are. There's Janet Horton, who married Janet Boyer. Some of them we can convert. Helen Ashwell married. Who's Helen married?
Or who knows?
Well, I'll get that guy's name. Go ahead, David.
Let me know when you're ready to proceed.
We're ready.
We're ready.
I bet he may be an athlete. Okay, here we are, and that looks like Jack Donald's.
That does look like Jack Donald's. That his boys?
Probably.
Glenn Donald says that Jack was Jackie and Tony.
Tony? How neat. Look at that horse posing. Boy, that Jack Donald's was one in a million.
They say Bill McCarty said he was as tough a football player as you could find pound for pound.
Now that's an old steam threshing machine out.
Old fashioned days.
Yeah.
That's where they used to put them out there at the back north edge of the park.
Oh, that's Springer. He was a congressman.
And
who's a girl?
Started saying Nita Bozarth, but that's not her, I don't think.
And the poster on the top, that's who gave me my scholarship to college.
That could be a congressional scholarship.
Stan Weaver?
Yep.
Yeah, but that wasn't Stan.
No, it wasn't Stan.
No, in the poster.
Yeah. It's William Springer.
Yeah, we got Stan coming up a little later.
There's Stan Cross.
Speaking of Stan Cross, which says Dennis pays like Santa
plays. Dr. Cross must pay his bets. Cubs lost. That's
Ronnie Santo.
Clint Smith right behind him. Bill Burris right behind Stan Cross.
Mr. Hall.
Orville Fry. George Hillard over to the right.
Don Belts.
Don Belts over to the right.
George Hillard. Did you say George?
George back in the corner and right. And Doc Gailey over there.
Doc Gailey on the left.
Evidently,
we got them all.
Stan lost a bet.
Stan lost a bet and looks like maybe welched on his bet.
Yeah,
No, can you imagine? Those guys used to have a lot of fun. That's a Rotary.
They did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is they got the Rotary badges on it. It looks like they ambushed Dr. Cross.
I think so.
Well, they had pre-made signs. That thing was planned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy,
now
there you go.
Lendl Embry on the right.
That's Lendl.
Good old Lendl.
Yeah.
These are county officers. There's Frida Morris.
Frida Morris, Gene Miller.
W.A.
W.A. Bozarth.
Frida was a longtime clerk. Her husband, Johnny, was assessor, and he was captain of the 27 football team with Tack Green. Her son, Phil, played on the 1960 undefeated team.
I think a lot of these pictures came from a political event, Republican event of some sort.
I would imagine. John Hirschfeld.
Who's the gal?
I can't tell. She admires him, though.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of women do that when you were running for office.
Well, they fawned. They fawned a lot.
Yeah.
A few of them passed out.
There's the Morrises.
There's Johnny and Frida. I came back from the Army and I fixed an old house up, the Bailey house. And I remember Johnny came by and I thought, what's nice of Johnny to come by? I started showing him all the improvements I made. And he said, Mike, you shouldn't be showing me all these improvements. Yeah. Why not, Johnny? I said, I'm the assessor.
Yeah.
He was there to assess the house. Very fair people. There's John I mean,
Stanley.
Stan Weaver and Charlie Clayball on the right. I don't know who's sitting down.
A donor.
Yeah, taking all the money he had.
Next.
I tell you what, it's so cold out these days. I went to Springfield the other day. It's so cold out. I saw a politician with his hands in his own pockets.
That is cold, brother.
David, that's cold. That's cold.
Oh, the good old days, right down the brick street.
Yeah, this is earlier. This looks like maybe I'm trying to look at what do you think, 70s?
I was going to say somewhere early mid 70s, maybe. Is that
Yeah,
the Allen?
That
there
looks
was
like
a time in the
looks like
70s when they used this full headdress emblem, and then they went back to the one with the two feathers, because it's, to me, this is not a warrior, that's a chief.
well, that used to be our name.
Yeah.
Girl back there might be Ginger. Is that Ginger Allen or Debbie?
One of the two.
Debbie, probably. Well, the girls look like late 60s, early 70s.
I'd say 70s. In
Well, there's
fact,
a seven on the sleeve over here.
there you go. I was going to say mid 70s.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say early 70s.
Someone will respond at some point. Who we beat them tonight?
Well, this says freshman cheerleaders, Pat Morrow, Marcy Shoemaker, Wright, class of 74.
Oh, that's Marcy up at the right,
What it
far
says.
right there, with the glasses on.
Could be.
Who's driving that truck? The old fire truck.
Denny Dietrich? That's
Possibly.
Denny. Got a little mustache, I think.
Possibly.
That's Denny.
Could
Hard
be
to
Denny.
tell.
Let's see. Marcy Shoemaker says freshman cheerleaders were Sylvia Wellborn, Pat Morrow, Gayla Whitehead, Nancy Lucas, and herself.
Huh. Well, that's Pat Morrow there, right there. Then I think that's her. Okay.
All right, hang on. Oops. I'm trying to look at my other pictures for names. Well, why isn't this going?
That's when a float was a float.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like running these float pictures to show people what floats used to look like.
I would say this was early 70s because True Grit came out in 69 with John Wayne.
Do you know the guy?
Oh, go forward again. Blow it up.
Looks like Les Dick to me.
Yeah.
I believe you're right.
Huh? Les Dick.
Is that right?
I think so.
We don't miss many, do we?
We don't miss Les.
MASH. I guess the theme was TV shows or movies or something. Movies.
Must have been.
Huh.
I'm not sure what this one's supposed to be.
I'll tell you what now, that's when it was fun to do.
That looks like a broken leg, a broken ankle.
There's the old water tower.
Yep.
That's Strake with the football team, early 70s. Kind of hard to tell who some of the boys are.
Yeah, that would have been autos across the street there, the house and the junkyard.
Yeah. Tore down that old building.
Bit of history.
That Tuck Elder's place now.
Well, they're burying a line, and I don't know what that's all about.
Looks like out of the school.
Uh huh.
Okay.
There's Dietrich on the bank. Isn't that Denny on the bank right here?
Like
Yeah, Jennifer Thomas says the other is their dad. It says they were running the underground wiring for the scoreboard at the football field, all volunteer work.
Wonder what it cost back in those days.
That I don't know.
Well, the guy by the wagon, the big guy, looks like Gene Murray from behind. Right there.
That's
You know, that could be Gene.
Yeah, I think it. I mean, it looks like him from behind. That's Knopf in the back of the truck standing up. That's Fluter bending over. Huh. How neat.
They
You
built
said Steve Henninger's in there? Yeah, Steve right there, I guess. Maybe.
could be.
said they built that rig on the back of the wagon to operate the spool so they could run the wire, and looks like an efficient operation. Looks like they're
That's Tom Ellis.
hooking it up.
I'll bet that's Tom Ellis. Clean restroom and prompt service.
It's a bonded service station.
Oh, look at that picture.
Well, let's see what that's looking
Look
at.
down the way. Is that the White House?
The old White House, it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that was on the north side, so this on the
This
south.
is on
the motel back there in the background.
So this is all the way down.
Is that Robbie Robinson?
That
This
is
is
Robbie Robinson.
See?
That's where the huddle used to be.
Hey, you can't fool us.
Robbie was my neighbor back in the 70s.
Not about where the huddle is or the.
Yeah, pretty close.
Ron Rome says where Daylight Donuts is now.
Yeah. I think Jim Willoughby had a station there at one time too.
You know what used to be right across the street to the west from Daylight Donuts? A&W Root Beer.
Yeah.
In the 50s.
Yeah.
Flavor Crisp Chicken.
Well, we had a lot of chicken places.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
50 of them.
We might have been a little ahead of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Left to right in the front. That's
Another
Frank
one. Yeah, another one of my neighbors in this picture.
Larry Ring, Dennis
Chaplin, Owens,
Owen, and
Eaton.
Greg or Randy. That's Randy Eaton.
Back left, Gary Foltz,
Folks.
Dennis Ryan.
Hello.
I don't know.
Right. Okay.
One of the Henbys.
Right.
And that's a horn.
Now let's see. Janice Moody says bottom row, left to right, Larry Ring, Dennis Chaplin, Mark Owen, and Randy Eaton. Top row, Gary Foltz, Dennis Ryan, Mike Horn, Barry Henby, Paul Tingley, class of 71.
Paul Tingley?
What?
Man, I didn't realize he was that big.
No, I didn't. I thought Paul was smaller than that, but probably is.
Now get a load of this one picture.
These guys are, oh boy.
Man, that's a long time ago.
Who's he
Nice
with?
mustache.
Who's he with?
Gee, Benny. Boy, he was a hustler. He'd go get them.
You going to tell the people who it is?
Well, it looks like Jim Higgins.
Jim Higgins.
But I don't know if that's him or not. He just I've never seen.
Kathy Rhodes says it's Jim and Kay Higgins.
It is.
That's Kay?
And I didn't recognize either one of them because I don't remember them.
I recognize Jim.
I do too, but Kay looks totally different.
Well, see, Jim, when I was younger, had a beard. So this is the old picture. And now that she says that I recognize Kay's smile, but I didn't recognize her from this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim and Kay came from nowhere with no money and just kept growing. kept expanding.
That's what I said. He was a hustler. He worked hard.
Oh,
She worked
they
hard.
both worked hard. She was always there working too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I worked for Jim part time back in the '80s, and I really liked Jim.
Good guy. Well, that's Doctor. Is that Scardo, or is that Pablo Picasso?
Might be Picasso.
That's not Scardo, is it?
I don't know. Doesn't look like him.
No, I don't think so.
He didn't have a mustache. Who is that?
I thought you
That's
guys
not
would know.
Mr. Pettit.
No. On the far right, that's Mary McGrath from Hugo, of all places.
Government Hospital or an American Legion kind of thing.
Now, is this Hugo for real this time, or this Hugo?
This is Hugo for real. Mary McGrath used to write in the Tuscola Review for the Hugo News.
I missed it, David. You need to get it back in there. That Hugo News,
Yeah.
Ficklen News.
Ficklen, Garrett.
Yeah.
They used to have even a chicken bristle news.
Yeah.
Marcy says the left is Mrs. Gailey, and the center is Norma Ron.
Okay, I see Mrs. Gailey now.
Well, now I see Mrs. Ron, but that's a straight on picture of her. I think I'd recognize her if she'd been turned sideways.
Or had a pie in her hand.
But they didn't get Mary McGrath, did they?
No, I don't think they did.
Well, they're very Hugo experts in Tuscola.
True. Only two of us would know the family history there.
Yes. Who's her famous relative?
McGrath?
Yeah.
John.
There you go. Johnny McGrath.
John McGrath.
Bill drove one tough nut.
One tough cookie boy and one great guy.
There's Jim Higgins trying to race the mule. That's donkey
Damn.
baseball they played out in the park in the 70s, and Higgins just got threw off the donkey.
You think that's Higgins? It could be.
Well, it looks like, of course, Higgins falls off a lot of donkeys. I'm just guessing statistically.
I don't know.
At least he fell off the front.
I think there's a creative caption here somewhere involving the word ass.
Yeah, well, he's not a donkey's ass.
An ass, button an ass.
My neighbor played in that donkey league and got hurt. I guess it's kind of dangerous. Now, who would that be? Cub.
Well, John Blackburn said Tom Stewart. I don't know if that's
Tommy, that's my neighbor. That's Tom without glasses. I guess it is. Tom always was one for a good time.
Oh, the whole business community. We used to have quite a big business community back then.
Well, and the donkey's name is Andy.
Yeah, Andy Stewart, his cousin from up at Mobile. Looks like Roy Gould.
That's Roy Gould.
Roy Gould.
God.
Roy was thinking about switching in the buses for donkeys. On the left is Gordy.
Gordy Keith. That's not Keith. That's C.W. Gordy.
C.W. Gordy.
He was the manager of the phone office. Yeah, Roy's got that donkey settled down there.
Yeah, well, he's a bus driver. He knows how to handle chaos.
That's true.
Well, he's bigger than the donkey.
Now you'll notice on the left, outside the batter circle, there's what calls some donkey dung.
Yeah. There's Roy.
Okay. There's Roy again, and then who's charging at him?
Well, that guy used to work at the Grab It Here, it looks like. Can't think of his name. Started with an L. He was from Atwood.
I think Roy's donkey had to go to the chiropractor the next day.
His
imagine.
donkey's tied to the ground there on first base. It's one to pull away.
Well, he must be the catcher.
Roy's
First baseman. That's
he's first baseman.
Yeah.
Baseman.
Yeah.
There's somebody.
Well, there's another fall. Your guy going for the ball. Who would that be?
I don't know.
I can't tell.
I'm sure.
Carl Connor?
I can tell by the socks.
Oh, yeah. That's Carl Connor.
Carl Connor would Punch that donkey. That's Carl Quinn.
Carl Quinn wearing his I just been to Cancun outfit.
Looks like his mime shirt.
Yeah. He was famous for that in the post office. There's Ben Mingo. No, this is this the Champagne Eagles? No, it's not.
That's not
This
the
is
Eagles.
There must have been some kind of tournament out of the park. I got several of these team pictures. I don't think they're Tuscola people, but I
That's
think it's at Irvin Park. And then they had a dinner of some sort. So there's some pictures of them at the dinner. And
Hyde Park. That's that Chicago area.
yeah, so they brought them in from a long distance for this.
Might have been a Little League deal.
Joliet,
This is Joliet,
Hyde Park. Yeah, must have been
East Side, Barrett's.
must have been a state tournament. We hosted some Little League stuff. It was
Yeah.
a big deal. We hosted
Yeah.
sectionals. Did we ever host the state finals?
I thought we did.
It was pretty big. The city,
The Harris boys were involved.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal back then.
How neat.
So I'll go through them quickly since they're not Tuscola people.
Yeah, I know they're not.
Fried chicken. If they had the fried chicken, that was Wardell.
And there they had the team at the dinner,
I'll be darned.
fed everybody. And some of these guys look familiar, so I don't know if they're Tuscola people or not.
Who's the guy back? Blow up the right over there. Those guys standing back there. Oh no, back in the corner.
Hang on.
Okay. I'm not going anywhere. Over to the right. Is that Doug Haley on the right?
I don't believe so. It's a little too heavy at that time.
Well, the guy with the sideburns kind of looks like Ray Kingery.
No.
No.
That fifth guy down right here is Larry Steyerwalt. I made that up.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
But it sounded good.
It was convincing.
Yeah.
Is that Bob Hack on the left?
And, that's Bob Hack and Lloyd Lytle.
Lloyd Lytle on the right. Bob Hack used to own the Shell station.
Lloyd Lytle was a Marine in World War II from Arcola. Worked at the plant for years.
Must have been fireman.
He was a fireman.
Then we got some more dinner photos.
Everybody dressed up. Man, this was a big deal.
Yeah.
I bet Joe Harris would remember what time and what this was all about.
Yeah, they brought their suits and dressed up for dinner. And
Wow. There's Bill Bukovich in the back talking to
someone we don't know. Or is that Boris?
Well,
Tom Brady said he thinks it's Al Boris.
I thought Al, but Al cleaned up pretty good.
Lady in the black looks like Rosemary Bukovich.
I think the lady talking, Fred Gailey's mother.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's not Flock?
It's not Flock, and I don't think it's Rosemary now that I look at it.
Well, we got a couple of them there. Then another dinner picture.
Yeah.
There you got some.
There we go.
We know some of these folks.
Upper right's Bernie Campbell.
And then that is Doc Gailey.
Morse Gailey. I think that was Morse's earlier picture.
Gene Cornell.
Mr.
Marlar. Frank Marlar. W.A. Bozarth.
Lower right is Mr. Neal, Wayne Neal.
Wayne Neal, Bucko. And you know what? That's some Illinois big shot football guy.
Bill used to bring down, when I played football in '65, he brought down Ray Elliott to speak. He always had someone come down from U of I to speak. Bill was a quarterback for Illinois back in 45, 46. That's a player. I bet you that's either a player or assistant coach he brought down.
It looks like Elks Lodge, which is probably where the carbon is.
Well, that's where we used to have my senior year, the football banquet was at the Elks Lodge.
Yeah, that fireplace
My
used to
eighth
be there.
grade dance was there.
That was so we could have mixed drinks and beer for Fortney and Gibson.
Yeah.
That building's been a lot of things. I wonder what it will be next now that the carbon is closed.
That's sad. That's sad.
Mhm.
It's a good place to eat. Well, there's a Church of the Nazarene out there by Rick Marsh's house.
That's oh God.
Toth?
No, not Shondor. This is his son went in the Hall of Fame, the optometrist.
Newman?
No,
Oh, tell me, ask me.
really smart. This guy was a miner.
Right.
Gail Huber says Dick Scuda on the far right.
Dick Scuda, yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't think of Scuda. Yeah, we need a break.
All right. All right.
By the way, I called Bill Kleiss, my bailiff, to ask who the guard was, and as I asked him, I thought of the name, Gail Holmes. Remember Gail?
Yeah.
He was in Burris's class. There was a picture of him in eighth grade with L.H. Mann. I thought they were the same class.
Was he the one on the tractor?
Yeah, that was Gail Holmes on the tractor.
All
So
right.
for anybody listening, I wonder who the guy on the tractor was. It was Gail Holmes.
Okay. We ready to go?
Holmes or Ho?
Are we live?
No.
Yeah, we're recording, yeah.
Okay. Ready to go.
Holmes or Ho?
Holmes.
Bill, you got any predictions for this next picture?
Yes, 1959.
Bill, you want to make any predictions?
Say 71.
Oh, I'd say somewhere around
74.
No, I'd say somewhere around 66, somewhere in there.
Or 74.
Oh, no problem.
Well,
Let's see.
punt, pass, and kick.
I might miss a couple of them. I'm not very sharp. Sitting right there in the center with his arms out, feet, that's Craig Hastings. Next to him on the right's Dave McCrory. We go to the top up there. That's one of the Dixons. That's Jim Dixon, I think. Larry Ring in the middle.
Or at top.
Yeah, middle top. And that's the referee we had the other night, a freshman basketball game.
That's Rich.
That's Daryl Rich.
Daryl Rich.
And he's a good referee, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't smart off to him.
His dad.
I'll let you take the center and do that.
I had the top and bottom. You can have the center.
Oh, I'm going to pass.
Who is that? We should know this guy.
I can't remember anything.
We should know that guy right there.
Yeah, we should.
We've got some disputed names on Facebook.
I'm not sure that's Larry Ring at the top. That's
Tom Brady said he thought Mike Geiler in top middle.
Yeah, could be. It doesn't look like Ringo.
Well, it does look like Ring, but maybe it's not him.
And Heather Ainsley Miller said back row center looks like Mark Geiler. So that's a couple of them said Mark Geiler.
Okay, and you know what? That would be correct because Daryl Rich graduated in 76. And Ringo graduated in 71.
Tom Brady says the middle row is Terry Harbaugh, Eric Foster, Don Payton.
Donnie Payton, that was it. I knew it.
And he says front row, he says Steve Laley, Craig Hastings, Dave McCrory. But then Ronnie Atkinson says, is that KB first row on the left? I don't know who KB is.
Who did you say the first row on the left?
Well, Tom Brady says Steve Laley.
Well, Steve Laley played on that Gordy Cross football team of 76, 77.
And he played baseball with Rich and
he's
Hastings.
That's about Steve's Bob and Steve both played on that 76 team, I think.
Pass, punt, and kick.
Uh,
They
Hunt,
don't do
pass, and
that.
kick.
Donnie Payton, second row far right. Donnie Payton's dad was Don Payton, Villa Grove halfback. Bill Bukovich told me in the 56 game that Ron Bean played in for Tuscola. We barely beat him. I asked Bucko one time who was the best football player in the Ojo he ever saw, and he said Don Payton.
Wow.
So Donnie moved to Tuscola, and there was his son built just like him. I couldn't wait to win the state. It turned out his son didn't like football. He just didn't like
He
it.
threw the shot put.
Yeah, he was a strong kid, just didn't like football. We thought we were in hog heaven. Okay. This is that same era, only these are a little younger kids. It's like 77, 78. Who would that be? Who's the mop head in the back?
The mop head looks familiar, as does the kid on the right. But
Well, the mop head in the middle center, John Stiles.
nope.
No.
No,
What other names you have?
There's a Campbell.
let's
Lower
see.
left.
Danny Matthews and Heather
Um,
Ainsley Miller said yes. That's John Stiles.
I'd
Yeah,
say
we don't know him.
lower left is Chunk Campbell, I'm guessing.
Well, you
Might
know,
be
it kind of
good.
looks like Chunk. Tom Brady says middle row on the left end is Stan Redden. Steve Laley says Dick Laley, right side, middle row.
That's Dick. Okay. Dick and Steve. And there was Bob played too, I think. I forget when. Any other names?
Well, but that's all the names I had.
That looks like Chunk, and that would have been about
Yep.
Chunk's year. Chunk
Yep.
graduated about what, 79?
He graduated
Probably.
in
Yeah, he was a senior when he made probably 80.
80. He's
Yeah.
with Beth Pugh and Tammy Fortney.
Well, that should be Decker should be in that picture. There's all those guys in that. There was a Weimer was about that class, wasn't he?
Oh, no, Weimer's much later.
I'm talking about the oldest one.
Oh, not that old, I don't think.
Some of these guys, these would be probably different ages, but within 4 or
Yeah.
5
They
years of
were.
each other.
They were.
Okay. Oh, there's Bill Roach's wife, I think, or that Brown.
No, that's
Brown's.
Linda Brown.
Linda Brown, the barber's wife. I shouldn't have said Bill Roach. We go show that one. I'm sorry.
First thing that came out of your mouth.
I'll tell you what. I'm getting everybody mixed up here.
Yeah, that's good. I think most people are dead now. Thank God.
Thank God everybody's dead.
No.
Denise Dietrich says back in my modeling days.
That's Kleiss on the right.
Amy?
Amy Kleiss on the right. And on the left is a Dietrich.
Denise.
Denise Dietrich. Man, I stepped in it, didn't I?
Little private joke, David.
Is that Amy
Yeah.
on the right?
I missed it.
Well, we'll tell you about it later.
Is that Amy Kleiss on the right?
I don't know. Could be.
Oh, Mrs. Deaver. Althea Deaver.
Althea.
Oh boy. Sweetheart. Okay, back row, Bill.
Can't help you. I'm lost.
Come on, that gal on the right looks familiar.
She does. Real familiar.
Got any names?
Well, I'm looking. Danny Matthews says Cheryl Redmond Code, are those your nieces? And she says yes. Would that be Melinda and Melissa?
That'd be the Campbell girls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that somebody tells me the name, that looks like the Campbell girls.
Looks like the Campbell girls to me.
Yeah. I'm trying a lot of comments on here, so I'm trying to read through all the comments. Dun, 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 dun.
Girl in the upper right, we should know.
Luann Hoey says Ruth Ann Ryan, class of 72. So
Upper
I'm not
right,
sure. Not sure.
Patty Waters there with looks like Kay Craze on the right.
It does look like Kay.
Luann Hoey thought it's a K craze, and Shirley Quinn says Linda Burse question mark. Bob Utterback says Linda Burse.
Yeah, that's Susan.
Susan's big sister.
Yeah, passed away a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Good picture of Patty Waters there.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
This is some county group of girls.
Yeah, Randy West says all Atwood Hammond girls, class of 71. And Beth Jones says they were a singing group called the Girls Next Door. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, this is the passing of the horn.
I think this is maybe in the GAR room
That is the GI room, and they're holding cannonballs. I don't know what for. They're
at the courthouse.
going to launch a charge. It's in the northeast corner of the courthouse now, first floor.
The pictures of George Washington.
That's the original.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought you might know who they are.
Well, I should. Well, it looks like upper right-hand corner looks like Stroll. Janet, is that Janet Stroll?
No, that's Ford.
Is that Carla Ford?
Carla, I
Is
believe.
that Oaks below her?
I just can't tell.
Wait, is that married
The married Dennis?
Dennis?
Luann Hoey tagged Renee Fortney, Jamie Huber Owen, Peggy Carey, Carla Bloom, and Mary Oaks.
Mary Oaks, we got her. This is up here's Renee Fortney's the upper left-hand corner. That was Don, my class, and Jim Fortney's sister. There are three of them. I think she's down in Florida now. Don's in Milwaukee, and Jim's down in Georgia, I think. Who's the girl in the middle down?
Well, they didn't list them by where they were.
Well, she did it. The names are just in order there. Renee Fortney down below, and then over.
Renee Fortney, Jamie Huber Owen, Peggy Carey, Carla Bloom, Mary.
Peggy Carey.
Yeah, Peggy Carey. Okay. That is Mary Oaks, my former secretary in a law firm, and then clerk. Very, very competent, very smart.
Very smart.
Nice gal.
Yep.
Very professional. Well,
that's Gene Waters on the far right.
That was Jean. That hairdo, she didn't wear that hairdo for Miss Illinois, and she was lucky.
Looks like Sarah Matheny in the front.
Sarah Matheny down low. Then Johnny Huber in the middle.
Well, Kathy Rhodes says she thinks it's Vicky Runyon, question mark, then Johnny Huber, Gene Waters, middle row, left to right. And then she thinks Judy Kleiss on top.
Judy Black. Could be.
Mm-hmm. Judy Heinemann.
And Matheny on the bottom. So that's a Runyon girl on the left then.
Yeah.
Well, there's looks like another Runyon girl up there.
Judy, what is this? Cheerleader Day?
Same one. This
Cheerleader Day.
Now, on the left and the bottom is Johnny Dobbs, but above her is the black girl. That's Judy Kleiss.
Yeah.
Judy Black. And there's Matheny and Jean. And there's the Runyon girl. This is like what, 73, 74?
When did Waters get out? I was trying to think.
As the hospital administrator, Garland Stroll. It looks like Hausman. I don't know if that's her or not.
That's what Janice Moody says. Garland Stroll and Carol Hausman.
Yeah. Carol's giving a huh.
I don't have any names on there. It's at the community building.
Boy.
Far right's Ted in the bottom row, Romine, Ned Romine. In the middle is Paul Bretz. On the far left is Bob Williamson. I don't know the top two.
Farmers?
I had
Yes.
two poses of this picture and I wasn't sure which one to use, so I used them both.
Well, that looks like the same group.
It is. I just like the different poses.
That's the better
You can
picture
decide
right
which one to use.
Now that one right there is the best.
Bottom row left, second one in, is Earl Riggins.
Far right is Heine Schultz down Bourbon Way. Behind him is right up the road here, Laverl Byers.
Laverl Byers, yeah.
And next, second row, second one in from the right is Albin.
And John Albin.
John Albin, farmer, owner of a bunch of banks.
David Kincoy says standing second from left is Tom Hudson of Hinesboro.
Be Pat Sargent's brother.
Anybody else there? Okay, here we go. Sherman Marsh, second from left. There you go.
Your teacher.
There's my teacher. The second from right is one of my favorite teachers, probably one of the best math teachers in Illinois, is Warren Lineberger.
Bob Taylor says Jim Pettit, far left.
Okay, the photographer.
With his eyes closed.
Yeah, he
His
should know.
eyes closed.
No, golden rule, right?
Yeah.
There's old Sherm, Bill's neighbor and good friend. Bill worked for him at Seaboard Finance, didn't you?
Midland Guardian.
Were you the repo guy?
Oh yeah.
Danny Matthews. Danny Matthews asked if this was at Brookside.
One is at Brookside. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Wherever the Kiwanis met.
Well, it could be the new Brookside. The old one blew up in the 50s. The new one is brick.
Front in the lighter dress, that's Lita Whitaker.
Our teacher.
For 50 years.
If not more.
True. Any other names?
Well, Danny Matthews thought Mrs. Lassiter, but you said Whitaker?
No.
Yeah, the art teacher was Miss. Yeah, Heather Ainsley Miller says the art teacher was Mrs. Whitaker.
Yeah.
Lita.
Angie Lassiter's not in that picture.
Lita Whitaker.
Yeah.
Now there we go. That's the South Ward, I think. Looking north from the southeast corner, isn't it? I don't know which.
That's kids when the kids used to wear coats to school.
Yeah, and walk.
Well, Gary Brewer says it's Troop 95 heading out for winter camping at Camp Drake.
There you go. He would know.
I went by the high school today and I count over 100 cars. I think all the kids, almost half the kids have cars there. Camp Drake. Oh, there's Gary Brewer. First row on the left is Gary Brewer, Max Albritton.
Well, Bob Nunn.
Oh, is that, wait a minute. That is Bob Nunn.
Yeah.
I don't know who the third one is. Jimmy Wright's the fifth one. Jan Jameson, Stu Carmack. You know who the third one is? I don't get the third one.
No, I don't.
Looks like a Wilhelm. Back row is Jim Lemna, Chuck Brewer. Can't tell. Amos Albritton, Bob Hastings.
Oh, Ira Jameson.
Ira Jameson right behind Jan.
Negative's a little blurry.
Yeah, but we did pretty well on it.
You did.
In fact, that's the parents behind the kids.
Yeah,
we look at That's Gary Brewer and his dad, Chuck, behind him. Bob
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut behind him. This is the guy we can't figure out. We recognize the dad.
No, I don't.
Some of the names, Gary Brewer says me, then Bob. He says Bob Nunn, Ed Dole, question mark, Jim Wright,
Ed Dole.
Dan Jamison, Stuart Carmack.
Yeah, who's the guy on the far right? That Dale Canaz. Slide it down to the right. Yeah, Jim Wright. That's Jim Wright is his dad, Vern.
Ed Dole.
Eddie Dole. Totally forgot about Ed Dole.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he leave after 8th grade or something?
Well, sometime he didn't stay to graduate, I don't think. That is Bill in drag during the drag contest.
Yeah.
ABC used to dress up. They really got a kick out of dressing up like women for some reason.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, that was big.
That was big.
Looked like Joe Meyer bent over there. That probably was Bob Trimble's band. Ray Carlson, Bob Stallsworth, Bill Alexander. I think it's Tom Powell again. Bill and I'm not sure about that.
Let me look. Put on my glasses. Carlson, Stallsworth, Bill Alexander. Don't know, should know. Don't know, don't know. Huh.
Well, you got more names than I had.
And there's a moose on the wall.
Yeah. Rocky.
These must be Mrs. Moose's.
These are moosettes, they called them. That's Bill Alexander's wife right there. The second one from the left. That's Becky Alexander's mother.
Yeah.
Joan.
Our school superintendent's grandmother.
I'm reading the comments.
No, Mrs. Anderson's third one in next to Mrs. Alexander.
That Leonard Bunning's wife, first one.
Holy smokes. I think you're right.
What was her name? First name?
Oh, God, I should know it.
Mark and Larry's mom.
Yeah.
Leonard sold insurance for country companies with Chick Schroet.
Marion Bunting?
Yeah. You got it. Marion Bunting.
Jennifer Bender wants to know, is that Mrs. Anderson in the middle?
What'd you say?
Jennifer Bender asks, is that Mrs. Anderson in the middle?
Yes, it is.
And Joyce Henningsen Alexander says, first on the left looks like Ruby Snyder, Atwood teacher. And
Maybe.
third from the right, maybe Mary Harshbarger, also an Atwood teacher.
I didn't think these were teachers.
Well, they could be teachers incidentally.
Yeah, it looks like Rotary Bell again. And that previous picture, I think, was, go back to that previous picture. Well,
that's not a moose. I think that's an elk, isn't it?
yeah.
That looks like the fireplace that was out there. And this looks like the elks up here, but that does look like the Rotary Bell. So
yeah, we're getting some club confusion.
Must be Tuscola and Atwood.
Yeah.
There's Raymond Lee Jr. on the left. First one on the left.
That's Leonard Bunting right there.
Leonard Bunting on the far right.
With the white wavy hair.
Slide it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Leonard.
That's Leonard.
Played a lot of golf with Leonard.
Good golfer.
He'd rake him if he missed him, though.
Okay, so we got Raymond Lee.
You got Bev Hastings back here, a fourth one.
Yeah.
The left.
Yeah. Well, Bob was probably taking the picture.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, that earlier picture probably was Marion Bunting, because if you got him here, who's down the ground? What's he doing? Dancing? Doing circles?
I don't know. Huh. Okay, far right looks like Mary Ross. It looks like. And then next to her is Janet Shelton.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dumas.
Stephanie Dumas. That's the high school
Do
gym.
you have anything on that?
No, you did better than what I had.
Well, there's Dr. Burns
Mhm.
at some financial institution, I think.
I wonder if that's the old Tuscola
National
Bank
Bank.
uptown. Yeah,
Could be Tuscola National Bank. It was
where Joe's Pizza.
right. It looks like it's on the east side there with
Yeah,
those
with
windows.
those windows.
When did Bill build that new bank? Back in the 60s?
Football bank.
Yeah, this could be 59 right here.
Yeah.
Bill built that in the early 60s, I think.
Yeah.
There's Teresa Wolf in the middle and Ross on the right.
Densmore on the left.
Kathy Densmore on the left, Teresa Wolf, and what was Ross's first?
You think it's Carolyn?
Well, I thought it was Carolyn Ross. She's class of 61 or 2. Teresa Wolf was 63. Densmore was 63. So if she's from 63, I don't know who it is.
We tried to keep up on the girls' names.
That's my
Yeah.
sister's class right there, Teresa Wolf and Densmore.
I didn't have any names on this one.
It was attractive. She reminded me of Connie Francis.
Yeah. This was
Me pitching. I was
back in the days
that's the
of
one I could strike out.
Argyle socks and boxer briefs. She went out in public. That's a fashion statement right there.
Do you? Yeah. I asked Mike Carroll one time if he wears boxers or briefs. He said depends.
That's right. Hey, that's just too damn close to be funny. That looks like the candy stripers of the German hospital.
But they're in Tuscola High School.
Yeah, but they could have
That's high
volunteered.
school.
Well, blow it up a little bit. But they all have candy striper outfits on.
No, negative wasn't too good.
No, that's hard to tell. I can't.
Well, that's
Next.
Sometimes they're not very good, but I throw them in
well,
thinking
that's
somebody
my
will
class right down there.
trigger a memory for somebody.
That's your class?
Oh, there's Frank Marler.
Frank Marler.
Probably Bill McCarty's best friend that died early.
At City Hall, there's a big flagpole. If you look below that flagpole at the base that's a Frank Marler.
Everybody liked Frank. Died in his 40s almost, 30s.
Who's young?
Ray Carlson on the left. Biff McDuff on the right.
Mm-hmm.
This must be Wimple Park. I'm thinking they're doing something out at Wimple. Or it could be
Ricky Hardwick says Alan Hardwick second from right.
Is that Allen?
Pee Wee Hardwick. Yeah.
Oh, Pee Wee.
Yeah. But it's Allen. It was his name.
So this is one of the parks, either the North Urban or out at Wimple.
Yeah.
They're going to pour some concrete.
Can't tell what's in the background.
Maybe they're building the pavilions.
Could be.
Oh, there's that Mrs. Flock again on the right. You think it's somebody else?
Well, maybe Mrs. Flock.
But I don't have any names.
Okay, this was my class here.
Mm-hmm.
On the left is Barbara Weber Grimm
In the black.
in the black. Next one's Marcia Truitt.
Wish done.
Wish Dunn.
Shirley.
Shirley Weber Taylor. Joellen Cunningham. Just saw Joellen last night, by the way, Bill.
Did you really?
Down at Aldi's in Mattoon. She's with Joe. Talked to Joe for a while. And there's Joellen's best friend in high school, Betty Powell. Kathy Rice.
Carol Throat.
Carol Schroed, Pierce, and come on, Help with my last one here.
I can't tell you who it is. Why do we not
It
know?
could be Linda Lane, but I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I think they may have missed one. Sharon Cappy says Barb Weber next to a lady on end left.
Yeah.
Marcia Truitt, Wish Dunn, Rosemary Sims.
No, the
Maybe she
short
just
girl. Oh,
maybe she just
Rosemary. No,
tagged.
the fourth one in is Wish Dunn, is Wish Sims.
Okay, so she
Is
just tagged Rosemary
Rosemary
Sims.
Sims, married to Greg
Okay.
Sims from Atwood.
Right.
Well, then I think you got the same ones: Shirley Weber, Taylor, Joellen Cunningham, Betty Powell, Kathy Rice, Carol Schroet. And Carol Schroet says, "I remember this so well." So
Who's the last gal? Anybody know? And who's the guy they're visiting?
that's all the information I have.
Oh, come on, Carol, tell us who it is. Huh.
Yeah, that's class of 65, greatest class alive.
Yeah.
We did charity work back then, David. See?
Yeah.
Okay, left to right is Tat Green, All-State, 1927. Next to him is his little All-State son, Doug, from class of 60, 61. Next to him is the captain of the Ocala Champ 63 team, Pete Green, Dwayne Green. You do the rest.
Good luck. Can't tell, don't know.
Missing from the green photo is Cliff Green, who I think played either 57, 58, 59. All tax boys were top students and great athletes, great football players. All wound up. Cliff and Doug wound up being psychiatrists, and Dwayne wound up having a PhD in psychology, and they all practiced together in Spokane or Seattle.
One time, weren't they in Kansas?
Well, one time Cliff was with the Manager Foundation in Kansas, and Doug may have gone with it, but they wound up out in Seattle or Spokane. See who this is here.
What's this thing in the back?
That is the Fu Manchu Award. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what the occasion was.
There's our principal in 1965, Charlie Whalen and his wife.
This was Whalen, Don Rumley and wife.
Bucko. Murray's down there a little bit more.
Yeah, Murray's down there.
Standing up in line, it looked like Bobby Knapp right up there. Bob Knapp. This would be about class of 63. Football banquet. Well, let me see. It is.
Because there's a football.
We won the trophy. I was a sophomore on that team. Alan Hall was a sophomore quarterback. Gibson was a sophomore tackle. Courtney was a sophomore fullback. We had a lot of sophomores on that team. The seniors were Tommy Grubb and Joe Kleiss and Dwayne Green and Bob Wyatt. Some pretty tough nuts. Yeah, that's the 63 athletic banquet.
This is like the same guy that was in that other picture.
Is that the guy down by the elevator, you think?
Oh, Warren Payne?
Yeah. There's his bed in there. I didn't know.
Possibly. That's possible. Bob Taylor
would know.
Would know.
Okay, up on the left. Phil Schultz is the second one. But Denny Stewart, Phil Schultz, Reynolds, or Bechtel. What was his name? Bechtel Reynolds.
Might have been Reynolds, Mike Reynolds.
Bill Atkinson, the far right, Bill Atkinson, coming backwards, Herb Budden. Jimmy Glenn. Is that Porky Cunningham?
I was going to say it's Mort Cunningham.
Not sure about the next one. Then it's Eric Flume. That's Lee Williamson right there. So left to right is Denny Stewart, Phil Schultz, Mike Reynolds, Lee Williamson, Eric Flume, Not sure. Not sure. Jimmy Glenn, Herb Budden. Not sure. Bill Atkinson. Down below is Craig Sanderson.
Yeah.
Which one did you say is Eric Flume
Fifth one from the left.
standing?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what Gary Brewer had thought. But then Eric Flume said not me, but I think he had the wrong. I think he said third from left first, and
No, third from left is Reynolds or Bechtel.
okay.
The family's married in there, the Bechtels and the Reynolds.
Mhm.
I think Mike Reynolds was his name.
And then of course you got Bill Buckovich standing there in the dark suit.
Yeah, this was like probably these guys would have been well, this must have been like 61 or 62. Well, there'd been if we won in 63, these would have been the juniors.
This
Yeah.
negative was not very good. You can see the light streak across on the right.
This is that same 63 banquet which we won. And I also Jimmy Glenn, 1, 2, 3 from the right with a tie. Jimmy Glenn threw the game-winning block. Roger Chaplin fielded a punt, ran 60 yards to win the game with 13 seconds to go, beat undefeated Arcola. On the film, it shows Roger getting tackled as he caught the ball by Bill Anderson from Arcola, and Jimmy Glenn took him out with a block, won the game for us. That's a white tie.
Yeah.
Bit.
Don't know.
Gary Brewer thought Stan Cross on the left, but
Could be. Who's being honored there? Well, here's one of those houses again.
yeah, another one of those houses.
They build those down at Hugo.
You know what? It's a curved street, Bill. Go back to that house. That's a curved street. Now, where would that be? Meadowview doesn't have any curved streets. Hillcrest doesn't have any curved streets. And Southland Acres has no curved streets. And Parkview doesn't have any curved streets.
That's out of town.
It could be.
Well, it could be.
There's the
third grade used to get to ride the train to Champaign.
I remember riding the train to Champaign and back. And then we always got
what a treat.
Pizza and mixed drinks at Seven Saints at noon. That was exciting, wasn't it? I went with Angela Black. I think Angela Black sat with me on the train. This could be, looks like Ricky. Go back to that picture one more time. Is there Ricky Reinhardt down the bottom? Rick Reinhardt? Former coach.
Could be.
Former coach.
Could be. Isn't that wild?
There's former All-State, won us the title, Hall of Fame coach.
No, how
wow.
neat.
Wow.
I think it's just so cool to see these trains stopped with.
Oh, they used to stop, yeah.
Yeah.
Tuscola was the center of the train universe, we thought. Now they blow by and just lay on their horn.
And several pictures of it.
There's Bob and Bev with his parents, Bob's parents.
Yeah, Cecil Hastings. I believe that was his name. I remember him.
Well, I remember Cecil. He lived to be a ripe old age.
Yeah, he did.
Buried right next to Bob.
Ingraham, Illinois.
Buried right next to Bob and Bev. Where's that house at? Where did they take that picture at?
I said Ingraham. Maybe that's the old farm home place.
Okay. That was a young Bob, right back from World War II in the Navy, radio operator in the Navy.
So it may have been some of Bob's family pictures in with the negatives.
Yeah. Oh, there they go again. I hope we got Cecil right.
No, that's his dad.
Yeah, but who are the other people?
Well, I don't know.
Bev's parents?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's Corn Belt.
Corn Belt Savings and Loan.
You owned that building.
I owned that building at one time. Bought it from Caldwell Brothers worked there, Clyde and RB, and then I negotiated with L.H. Mann and Gene Maloney, two of the finest men Never want to meet in your life.
On the Corn Belt board.
Yeah, they were on the Corn Belt board. Just wonderful guys. I told you the story that when they went to announce to the whole board, they merged, with Saves Loan. That night, when they went to say we've sold this to Mike Carroll, somebody on the board said, "I've got a higher offer from somebody else. I got a check right here for a higher offer."
Whoa.
And they said, "We got to take the most money." And LH Mann and Gene Maloney said, "We gave him our word. That's the end of it. You don't take it, we're off the board." So they voted to accept it. That's the way honorable people were back in those days. Well, you and I kind of brought up the rear end of that.
Yeah, we did. It's kind of the rear end.
We're the rear end of it.
Yeah.
We're the rear end of everything.
You're the rear end. That's what I always said about you, Mike. You're the rear end.
I know. Follow me, man. I'm right behind you.
That's Rosie Claire's place on the right.
If it ain't on the floor, if it ain't on the floor, it's on the wall. If it ain't on the wall, it's on the ceiling. If it ain't on the ceiling, you don't need it.
What's the store on the left?
That was the plumbing contractor. Well, Harris says something else, but
George.
Was that Contour?
No, Contour was on the
other side. Well, Henninger's had that. I don't know how old that. Can you do it a little bit? Blow it up a little bit.
Something coming.
Something furnace. Doesn't it say furnace?
Yeah, I can't read it.
Well, where was Rothgab's at?
Across the street with Contour.
Yeah. Well, the Henningers had that back in the 70s, I know. So if this
what is this? About a 58?
That's
Buick?
a 56.
Oh, something like that.
It looks like a 56.
Something like that. So this is late 50s.
56 Pontiac, it looks like.
Yeah.
Or Buick.
Late 50s.
That looks like the Carnine houses down on.
Well, that's what I thought too. It looks like
down across the street from you.
You know what that is? I'll bet that's when that tornado hit the neighborhood.
No, that's the way Wayne built.
Oh.
No, I think those are, remember, David, they're right across the street to the east of you. Wayne built about 3 houses there.
Yeah, this looks like the back of them.
I don't know what happened. Was there a storm?
We had a tornado come through the neighborhood.
Well, 70, 76, 70.
You know what? If this is the back of them, this picture's flipped horizontally.
Yeah, the brick's down the corner, isn't it?
Brick would be on the corner.
Yeah.
And then the next two. So this house over on the far end must have been True Bloods.
Yeah.
Timmy True Blood.
Yeah, I remember the tornado. It took out the trailer park. It didn't. I don't remember any damage right across the street.
No, it went right down that street though. It buckled. Vangel's tree snapped in two. I had a tree on a house I rented on that street snapped. It went right down through the trailer park, right down North Line Road, popping the transformers as they go, just exploding. It bent the railroad sign down there at the railroad crossing down by Jolly's.
Yeah.
What's wrong, hon?
What is it?
Why? Kendall too.
Oh,
What's
what was the warning?
Becky woke up and ran in and said, "Crap." She thinks it's what? You thought you missed pickleball? I know, but I think it's funny. See, I could bring her on the bus for a laugh. Hey, honey, come make an appearance.
Good try, Beck.
Becky's in there with the fireplace. It puts her to sleep.
Looks like this is the same tractor we had before.
Yeah, same farmall. There's Wayne. There was my class again. Buddy Whalen on the left, Ann Ferguson Monahan, Wayne Henninger, Carol Schroed Pierce. I'm trying to see here.
Now that is Linda Wilson.
Well, keep on going.
Possibly, isn't it?
I don't know.
And there's a Porter girl. That's Linda Wilson.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the fifth one.
Yeah, Bob Taylor says Tanya Porter, far right.
Yeah, it's Tanya Porter.
Who did he say was the fourth one? The fifth one?
Well, Sharon Cappy says Buddy Whalen in left, and Ferguson Monahan, Wayne Henninger, Carol Schroet Pierce, and that's all the names I have.
Well, that's the one we're not sure. Becky, know who this is? This is my class. You recognize her at all? Get your glasses.
Oh, I just didn't like. Hmm.
Oh, we got Becky on air.
Yeah.
I think it's Linda Wilson.
No, she had light hair. Wayne Henniger, Carol Schroet.
I don't know.
Well, she had dark hair when she was younger.
Did she?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You got me there.
I believe so. I mean, to go through all of those and get them like that.
She dated Maury Reese in high school. I don't remember her hair color. Oh, Johnny.
Oh
Beatty
my gosh.
and Tamara Neal.
Tamara Neal. Oh, Beck, you got to see this picture.
Becky.
When you get a chance. God, what a great picture. Teen Town.
Marcia Truitt dancing with, it looks like Cooley. What was his name?
Charlie Cooley.
And there's Tammy Neal with Johnny B.
Is that Pangber?
That could be Mike Pangber here. This is about 60.
Sharon Cappy says Marcia Truitt Williams on left. And Gary Brewer says Tamara Neal, John Beatty, foreground, Mike Pangburn, left of John.
Right. We had all those.
Yeah.
The one on the right over here, who's that?
Well, I can't tell.
And Marcia Shoemaker says Robert's Uncle John.
Johnny Beatty. Yeah, Johnny Beatty is all the Stewart brothers. Harley Hammock on the left, superintendent of schools. Not sure. And on the right's Charles Whalen with his wife.
Nice socks, Charlie.
He's got his gym socks on.
He came down from Lockport Porter High School. We bagged him in.
Boy, I wish he'd have stayed.
He was the best.
Man.
Tim Holt says Gene Maloney next to Harley Hammock.
Well,
I'm sorry, that's not Gene Maloney. Tim.
Oh,
But
let's see. Yeah,
it
Cynthia Gates says, yes, that's Harley, but that's not my dad next to him. Marcy Shoemaker says, couple on the left is Gaylord and Rowena Gates.
that's the Rowena. Okay, that's the house. I bought a house from her on Main Street, fixed it up back so many years ago.
Yeah.
But Charlie Whalen's wife just looks like Ann, their daughter. Remember? Remember Ann Whalen?
Mm-hmm.
She's a real tomboy. But this looks like the Hitler Youth Group.
The Hitler Youth Group, I don't think. I hope not. Girl Scouts, Tuscola, on the stage at the community building.
Yep. And Bill will name it all for you.
Yeah. Can't tell.
Yeah.
Say her button, but I don't know.
I don't have any names.
Yeah, there's one of those houses we saw getting built.
Yeah.
Looks like a controlled fire. It says USI on the back, so
they're practicing.
Probably a training.
Yeah, they were practicing.
Deal.
That was the day they burnt down the Minnesota.
I don't have any name here. Nothing here. Hard to tell who they are when they're not too good and they're wearing a cap on their head.
Well, there's the candy striper. Yes, front row left looks like Kathleen Boylston, but it's probably not. Barb Nuccio. Somebody.
Barb just died.
Yeah, this year. Back row, that looks like Wayne Huber's first wife. What was her name?
Oh, yeah. I can't think of her.
Oh.
I can see her.
Yeah.
Sharon Cappy says Kitty Kish on the left end, question mark.
you should know.
I figure you guys would know.
I can't see her feet or her wrist.
Well, if it was Kitty Kish, he would have been in the hospital.
Yeah, she was 61. Barb was 63. Rest of them were 63. I don't know.
I think I know a few of these.
Who's on the line to type?
I don't know because I don't know if this is the journal or the review. So
Who do you know here?
this is Mrs. Bateman's kindergarten class, and this was my class.
Margaret Bateman.
So this, you can't see her face, but this blonde hair in the middle,
Minnie Quinn.
that's my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the back far left, looks like Brian Harris. In front of him is Gary Goodwin. And to the left in front of him looks like Todd Becker, maybe. And then on the right, with his hand on his mouth, is Bobby Slaughter.
Huh.
Is that you staring up at her?
Then in front of him is Lori Hill.
Is that you next?
In front of her is maybe John Wolfenberger. And
That's
then
the house we live in.
And then this is Tommy Peach. The pigtails next to him might be Rosemary Ross. Not sure. And I don't know, but this one over here, it looks like me in the face, but I don't remember ever having my hair being that long in kindergarten.
Becky, you ready to look at this photo? Go back to the Johnny Beatty dance. Can you go back, David?
I can go back.
We got Becky here now. There it is.
Isn't that neat?
Oh, there's Tamara Neal.
Mm-hmm.
So John Beatty?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Mike Pangburn.
Oh.
Marcia Truitt.
Oh yeah, Marcia.
We don't know who this is. Were you in this? Can you slide that right? Beck ought to be here.
What kind of dance is it?
Slow dance.
Well,
It looks like, was it Teen Town?
Teen Town.
I don't know. It's awfully dressed up for Teen Town. The boy's got on a bow tie. Pangburn's got on a tie. My goodness gracious.
Gosh.
What fun.
So, still working on trying to see if anyone can identify some of these classmates, because I should be in this picture, but I don't know if that's me or not. So anyway.
I had you back looking up. I had you back middle there. Wolf, you said Wolfenberger or whatever his name was.
Wolf right here, yeah, Wolfenberger, John Wolfenberger. Is that a couple of us think that's John Wolfenberger?
Looked like you, I thought.
No, that's not me.
There's his wife.
John moved.
Jenny.
There's Jenny.
Yeah, there's Jenny.
Jenny with her hair.
Could that be you with the cutoff T-shirt behind Jenny?
I don't think so.
Stalking her? Becky's on top of this one.
See, usually my hair looked more like this with a burr haircut. So those are I'm pretty sure that's Todd Becker, Brian Harris, Gary Goodwin, Lori Hill, Bobby Slaughter, maybe John Wolfenberger, and pretty sure that's Tommy Peach. And maybe
hole in there?
What's that?
Enough hole in there?
I don't see him. But, someone had their backs to us. I need to get in and see if I can find the negatives, see if there's more shots of this same scene. So, anyway, that's it.
Well,
very good.
Good job. You stumped us. We only got about, 93%?
Something like that. It's still graded A.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, but 7%.
So
we got it.
well, we had a lot of pictures this week.
Gail Holmes.
Gail Holmes. Is he in that yearbook?
I didn't see him, but I've got a picture of he in the 8th grade with LH Man. There's Bill Burris and there's Waldrop. Could be 7th grade. It's a 53 yearbook we're going through here.
I showed him. It's really, the pictures are incredible.
Yeah, that was really a good Sandy DeBoltz.
Well, we're going on 2 hours. We probably ought to wrap it up.
Well, if you think so.
You think so? That's enough.
I
Have a good one.
the three of us can continue if you want, but we'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.
You think people are already clicked off, David?
What's that?
You think people have already clicked off?
Oh,
I'll tell you what, I can shut her down.
all right. We'll see you next week.